I declare open this graduation ceremony. Please be seated. Good afternoon, graduating students, family, friends, colleagues and guests. Welcome to this Ulster University graduation ceremony. I'm Professor Paul Bartholomew. I'm Vice-Chancellor and President of Ulster University. And I simply want to start this ceremony as we mean to go on by saying very clearly to our class of 2025, congratulations. It's a privilege for me to preside over this ceremony today. It's the most important day of the university year. It's your graduation. Today is all about you. It's a celebration and we want you to enjoy every minute of it because frankly, you deserve it. We also want everyone who's come with you today to enjoy the occasion as well. And I want to thank the mums and dads, husbands and wives, sons and daughters, sisters and brothers, grandparents, carers, friends, and all of those who play an important part in your lives. It's fantastic to have so many of you here today, and please make your voices heard when your graduate crosses the stage. As presiding officer, I have the privilege of reflecting not only on what you've achieved, but on perhaps who you've become during your time at Ulster University, because today isn't just a celebration of knowledge gained, it's a recognition of character built. You leave here not only with a degree, but with something just as valuable, the qualities that will carry you forwards, not just in your careers, but your lives, quality that we at Ulster University have seen in you and we hope we've helped you nurture. These qualities can be summed up in one word, brave. And it's a word that we use in our development materials at the university. And I don't mean brave in the context of the heroic sense, although I'm sure that does apply sometimes. I'm thinking more of 5 words that we have sitting behind that usage. So let me explain. The B in brave is for bold. And you are bold. You have the courage to begin this journey, whether that be your undergraduate program or postgraduate program. You have the courage to step into unfamiliar territory, to ask difficult questions, and to take on challenges that may have once felt beyond your reach. Being bold is not about having no fear. It's about moving forwards in spite of it. And in our lecture halls, research labs, seminar rooms, computer labs, studios, societies, sports and communities, you've done just that. When you started your program, whether straight from school or from your undergraduate program or returning to study from a different career path, you brought with you curiosity, ambition, and questions about who you might become. And along the way, of course, you were challenged. You wrestled with new ideas, pushed through difficult deadlines, and stretched beyond what you thought was possible. And each time you stepped outside of your comfort zone, you expanded your potential. You discovered that you could do more, think more deeply, and lead with more purpose than you ever imagined. And that journey doesn't end today. In fact, it starts anew because your potential is not a fixed point. It's a horizon that keeps moving as long as you keep walking towards it. So keep walking, keep being bold. Next comes R. You are resilient. There's no journey without obstacles. There were deadlines you didn't think you could meet, assignments that tested your limits, and perhaps your patience. Moments where even quitting may feel easier than continuing. But here you are, at your graduation. Your resilience has made you stronger, not just because you endured, but because you learned, you adapted, and you kept going. Next, A. You are authentic. In a world that often pressurizes people to fit into a mold, you've had the courage to be yourself, to speak your truth, to show up fully and to contribute your unique voice to our university. Now, authenticity is certainly not about perfection. It's about being real, being honest, and being grounded in who you are. It's what makes you trustworthy and unforgettable. V comes next. You are versatile. You've had to pivot, rethink, collaborate across disciplines and find creative solutions to new problems. The world you're entering, whatever sector that might be, will continue to change rapidly, but your ability to adapt without losing direction is one of your greatest assets. And finally, E. you are empowering. Throughout your time here, you've not only grown individually, but you've lifted others, whether it was simply helping a classmate, mentoring, organising, advocating, or encouraging someone when they needed it. You've proven that real strength uplifts everyone. Being empowering demonstrates your confidence, your leadership potential, and your ability to work collaboratively. And in today's dynamic workplaces, success often hinges on teamwork, adaptability, and mutual support. So harness that ability, encourage ideas, foster inclusivity, and help others to grow. These 5 characteristics, boldness, resilience, authenticity, versatility, and being empowering, summed up as brave, are not just what got you to this day, they are what will define your success far beyond it. They have the potential to guide how you lead, how you work, and perhaps even how you live. So graduates, you are ready. You've learned the theories, you've completed the dissertations, you've passed the exams, you've aced your studies. You did it. And for our part, we're delighted that you did. Now, as the Vice-Chancellor of the institution, I do want to take a moment to thank all of those within the university who've helped you get here, my colleagues, your lecturers, research supervisors and technicians, and all of the professional services team. Many of them are sat behind me, and I wonder if you'd join with me in giving them a round of applause because they are outstanding. Thank you, colleagues, and thank you, graduates, for applauding them. Now, before we get on with the ceremony, let me finish with the words of the great author and thinker, Ralph Waldo Emerson. What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. So remember, be brave. The power to shape your future lies within you. Go out and make it extraordinary. Enjoy your day today, and on behalf of all of us, congratulations again. Thank you. In accordance with the wishes of the Senate and by virtue of the authority vested in me, I confer honorary degrees, and other academic distinctions of the University of Ulster on those named in the conferment list approved by the Senate. I call upon Professor Keeney, Professor of Screen Technologies and Innovation and CEO of Studio Ulster, to present Laura Livingstone for the honorary degree of Doctor of Fine Arts.
Vice-Chancellor, colleagues, graduates and friends. Ulster University awards honorary doctorates to individuals in recognition for the outstanding contribution they are making in their chosen fields and to our society. We believe those receiving honorary doctorates are inspirational role models for our students, our staff and our partners. They are people we can look up to, whose work, values and passion can inspire us in our own personal and professional lives. In this context, it is my profound honour to present Laura Livingstone for the honorary degree of Doctor of Fine Arts, in recognition of her outstanding contribution to screen technologies, visual effects and the creative industries. Laura, a senior visual effects executive in Netflix in Los Angeles, is one of our own. Originally from Armagh, Laura studied communication, film and broadcast at Trinity College Dublin, where her early passion for storytelling and screen production began to take a clearer and confident shape. She then pursued international experiences that would become formative, studying at the Berkeley Digital Film Institute in California and at the Universidad Autónoma de Barcelona, immersing herself in the cultures and cinematic practices of other countries, sharpening her global outlook, her terminal and technical fluency in the screen arts. After returning to Northern Ireland, demonstrating her early potential with Northern Ireland Screen and as a freelance production coordinator, Laura showed remarkable ambition by relocating to the United States to join one of the most respected visual effects companies in the world, Industrial Light and Magic, ILM. It was here on Jon Favreau's Iron Man 2 that Laura's career truly ignited. Her innovative approach to technology, ability to lead large-scale creative teams, and intuitive understanding of the storytelling power of visual effects propelled her quickly up the ranks. Over the years, she has held senior positions at Atomic Fiction, Zoic, Entropic, Disney, Meta, and ultimately Netflix, where she now serves as senior visual effects executive based in Los Angeles, Burbank, with a wonderful view of the Hollywood sign. 2 L's, apparently. We should maybe let our colleagues in North Down know. That's good. So her film and television credits are a showcase of modern visual effects excellence. Flight, Boardwalk Empire, The Blacklist, A Good Day to Die Hard, The Flash, Arrows, Echoes, Wednesday, and Vikings Valhalla. Only a fraction of the extraordinary work and body of work that she's helped deliver. But Laura's creative reach extends beyond traditional cinema and episodic drama. She has introduced new visual effects and virtual production pipelines into global advertising campaigns for Nike and for Gillette, and she's helped pioneer cinematic concert experiences for artists such as Billie Piper, Billie Eilish, and the Los Angeles Philharmonic Orchestra. She has worked with directors and producers such as Tim Burton, David Nutter, Jon Favreau, Michael Bay, Robert Zemeckis, Rian Johnson, and J.J. Abrams. Her projects push the boundaries of where narrative, music, spectacle, and emerging technologies converge, making her a true creative technologist at the highest international level. Throughout her career, Laura has navigated and reshaped a sector traditionally dominated by men. Today, she is not just a leader in visual effects, but a trailblazer for women in the screen industries globally. As a board member of the Visual Effects Society, her voice carries weight in policy, membership, industry standards, and creative vision. She is a passionate advocate for equality and diversity in the screen production, offering not just technical leadership, but a deep ethical commitment to reshaping how the industry operates. But what truly sets Laura apart is the bridge she has built back to Northern Ireland. Despite her global success, Laura has never turned her back on her roots. She has used her influence, insight, and networks to open doors for others. Indeed, she has been an instrumental figure in the development of Ulster University's virtual production studio complex, Studio Ulster. From its inception, she has offered strategic advice and championed our vision on global stages. Laura helped us define the expectations of an ever-changing international visual effects and virtual production industry. But more than that, she gave us belief that a new world-class real-time production facility could be conceived and built here in Northern Ireland, and that it could stand shoulder to shoulder with the most advanced studios in Los Angeles, Vancouver, and London. She has supported the design of her research strands. She has also helped shape curriculum development right here at Ulster University. And she has done all this whilst flying around the world delivering keynote addresses, leading panels, and mentoring others on visual effects conferences and festivals. I'm sure that Laura would also recognize the important part the people around her have played and continue to play in her life and her work. We are delighted that Laura's daughter, Ella, her parents, Helena and Seamus, and members of her wider family and friends are here with us today. Thank you for being here. Laura, your journey from Armagh to Los Angeles, from local productions to global platforms, exemplifies the very values we strive to celebrate at Ulster University: innovation, integrity, inclusion. You have broken glass ceilings and created a legacy both on screen and for those who follow in your path. Personally, I'm honored to call you my friend. Graduates, Laura is an extraordinary role model, a titan of the visual effects industry, a global ambassador for screen industries, and a champion of women in diversity. She has made an inspirational impact on the creative industries here and around the world, and has done so with courage, vision, and an uncompromising humility and dedication to her craft. And for that, Laura, today we say thank you. Chancellor, in the name of the Ulster University Senate, I present Laura Livingstone for the degree of Doctor of Fine Arts, honoris causa.
Laura Livingstone, in the name of the Senate, I present to you the honorary degree of Doctor of Fine Arts, honoris causa. I call upon Professor Connolly, Pro-Vice-Chancellor and Executive Dean of the Faculty of Arts, Humanities and Social Sciences, to present candidates.
Vice-Chancellor, in the name of the Senate, I present to you candidates for the degree of Master of Science in Communication and Public Relations, Latifa Yasmin. The degree of Master of Science in Digital Marketing, Communication and Leadership, Jaskaran Singh. The degree of Bachelor of Arts with Honours in Screen Production and Diploma in Professional Practice, Jack Carlin. Daniel Raymond Coulter. The degree of Bachelor of Arts with Honours in Screen Production, Dawid Bawiskowski. Jonathan Beattie. Emma Caddell. Nathan Caffarel. Ben Copes. Lawrence Donaghy. Letitia Downey O'Neill. Seamus Fitzsimmons. Laura Harrison. Sean Heaney. Cormac Herdman. Ben Higgins. Mark Lamb. Quiver Larkin. Mia Lewis. Dara Loughran. Jude Macaulay Sminkak. Anna McRae. Gavin MacDonald. Jonathan McFadden. Paul McGee. Tara Montgomery Allison. Adam Muldoon. Connor Mulvenna. Gavin O'Connor Clark. Connor Quinn. Theo Raykoski. Ariana Grace Ray. Lucy Rogers. Jonathan Rogers. Juliet Shaw. Aidan Summers. Onyalka Zamuk. Jack Weir. Curtis Henry Williamson. Jessica Yao. The degree of Bachelor of Science of Honours in Communication Management and Public Relations and Diploma in International Academic Studies, Julia Maria McMullen. The degree of Bachelor of Science of Honours in Communication Management and Public Relations and Diploma in Professional Practice, Anna Ferris. Sam Foote. Laura Hughes. Kate McCormack. Aoife McChrystal. The degree of Bachelor of Science of Honours in Communication, Advertising and Marketing and Diploma in Professional Practice, Johnny Allen. Caitlin Ball. Hannah Besant. Gabriella Bennett. Sophie Berberian King. Shay Brennan. Aoife Brown. Sinead Campbell. Grace Cunningham. Charlie Diamond. Matthew Donnelly. Megan Edwards. Kira Fanning. Megan Feely. Cleena Goodfellow. Amy Goodwin. Amy Greenan. Holly Gunn. Rihanna Rose Heffron. Amy Sandra Johnston. Cormac Loughran. Leah Claire Malone. Connor McCall. Aoife McCloy. Caitlin Ann McCormack. Fionn McFall. Jane McHenry. Cara McLaughlin. Leah McVeigh. Emma May Milligan. Ross Morrison. Caitlin Muka. Leah Merkham. Joe Declan Murray. Kerry O'Donoghue. Michael O'Keefe. Aideen Quinn. Jade Louise Scott. Gareth Stewart. Nathan Richard Stewart. Jenna Tubman. The degree of Bachelor of Science of Honours in Communication, Advertising and Marketing and Diploma in Professional Practice, International, Claire Cox. The degree of Bachelor of Science of Honours in Communication and Counselling Studies, Caitlin Dorothy Allen. Shannon Brady. Jessica Brown. Maeve Canning. Inez Cassidy. Rachel Jade Cusick. Dean Doherty. Rachel Marie Doherty. Shannon Doran. Helen Diugnan. Kenza Duke. Alexandra Durand. Alicia Foster. Lauren Gaskin. Leah Goss. Leah Graham. Jenna Hamilton. Molly Bell Harris. Sophie Debbie Marie Irwin. Bethany Kerwin. Diamena Clevate. Maya Lane. Lucy Lewis. Owen Lyons. Renee Martin. Quiva McGrory. Erin McMinn. Charlie McQuillan. Emily Montgomery. Matthew Mulvey. Louise Murphy. Holly Neville. Molly Oldfield. Jessica Porter. Jane Stewart. Simon Thompson. Emma Weir. For the degree of Bachelor of Science of Honours in Communication Management and Public Relations, Lorcan Kieran. Amy Lockery. Megan McDade. Emma McGuigan. Brona Morgan. Ethan Ronald Stephen Thomas. Caitlin Tinkler. For the degree of Bachelor of Science of Honours in Communication, Advertising and Marketing, Lucy Nia Anderson. Courtney Austin. Oren Bell. Connor Daly. Amy Donnelly. Lucy Grew. Jessica Loughran. Sarah May Lockridge. Lorcan Mac Gilla Fionandine. Lauren McGee. Leah McGill. Katie Jean McConaughey. Cara McElwee. Mia McErlane. Emma Morgan. Grace Mullen. Erin Kate Patterson. Kira Quinn. Cora Louise Quinn. Charlotte Uprichard. The degree of Bachelor of Science of Honours in Language and Linguistics, Abby Kate Beryl Megan. Sarah Bohan. Rebecca Boyd. Kiala Carr. Lucy Cathcart. Shauna Clark. Zara Collins. Clara Corrigan. Sienna Crawford Rainey. Lorcan Farrell. Tiernan Graham. Keris Lynn Jenkins. Megan Livingston. Millie Locke. Mary McCauley. Megan McCann. Rebecca McCleary. Maria Victoria McGaughty. Sinead McKeown. Quiva McMullen. Alana McNulty. Lydia Moore. Chloe Mulligan. Blynia O'Neill. Neve Porter. Melissa Rooney Harrison. Tierna Savage. Amy Spear. Orla Ward. Vice-Chancellor, this concludes the presentation of candidates from the Faculty of Arts, Humanities and Social Sciences.
Thank you, Professor Connolly, for presenting candidates. I now call upon our honorary graduate, Dr. Livingstone, to address the congregation on behalf of those who have been presented.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Thank you It's a real honour to be here with you all today. Congratulations and well done to all those graduating today from the faculty and from the School of Communication and Media. I am envious. The world and the future looks really exciting. I'm also very excited and thankful today receiving this honorary doctorate. It's an immense privilege and I'm really humbled beyond words. I want to begin by thanking my family who are here with me today. They've flown in from many parts of the world to join me and to celebrate. They're a constant source of support and inspiration. And to you, to my partner and friends who couldn't be here today, and thank you to my colleagues, collaborators in the creative community, especially the filmmakers, storytellers, and production crews I'm so fortunate to work with on a daily basis and who inspire me every day. As does my daughter Ella, who at 10 is already outpacing me in height and wit. I'm also incredibly grateful to Professor Greg Maguire, especially to Dr. Declan Keeney, a stalwart of the industry and a champion for its future here in Northern Ireland, to which we should be immensely grateful. And to Professor Frank Lyons and Vice-Chancellor Professor Paul Bartholomew. And the amazing teams and staff at Ulster University, thank you for what you've been doing and for having me here today. I got off the train yesterday in Belfast and I saw a quote by Hemingway on a wall on Hope Street just off Great Victoria Street. And it reads, "Creativity, like society, thrives when the individual elements fit within the bigger picture." And I think it's important to remember that today as you go now and forge your path. I started in Armagh. When I was growing up there, I was in the charity shops a lot, most often by the bookshelves. I loved books that had been made into films, and I loved watching, as much as I loved watching the making of and behind the scenes segments that were on Saturday morning TV shows back then. And one of the secondhand books I remember was about a Hollywood producer. And at the time, it didn't even enter my head that that would ever be me. But years, decades later, sitting at my office on Sunset Boulevard, I looked out the window and realized I was on the exact street from the cover of that book. Hollywood, as Declan knows, is a little bit grittier and less glitzy than we see on the TV and in real life. The beautiful sky, sun, and palm trees on the book cover weren't exactly the picture that I was looking out at, but it hit me. I didn't realize every decision I had been making would lead me to my North Star, to a place where I'm happy working in an industry that I'm passionate about. And I'm able to bring value and have fun, and it's something I could only ever have dreamed of. But like I said, it wasn't a straightforward journey. It was winding and uncertain. I was encouraged to go here and go there and do art, do law, do all sorts of things, but I knew deep down that those wonderful options just weren't for me. So instead, I took a communications course instead. It was film and broadcasting. In year 4, we got to make short films. And we were one of the last cohorts to shoot on 16mm film using Arri cameras. I loved it. I loved getting on set. I loved doing props when I was a production designer. And I loved when I got to load the film. That job back then was a clapper loader. But by the time I graduated, film had gone digital. We were the last class to do this course ever. My skills were already outdated by graduation day. That's what I thought. So I had to pivot, and I echo the words that I heard earlier in Brave and pivoting, because what mattered wasn't the tool, it was the storytelling, it was the craft. As a producer, I can translate a director's vision onto the screen, and I still had those foundations of filmmaking, and that was still applicable to digital content creation. And that moment, that pivot, is exactly what many of you might face now or in the near future with AI, another revolution, another game changer. But just like the digital one, and when virtual production techniques came along, sometimes we worry, and it won't stop there. Technology will keep evolving. Innovation is intrinsic and inevitable. But just think of all of these. AI is just another tool, like digital cameras, virtual production. And like every tool before it, we have to test it, explore it, push its limits, and decide if it serves the story and our storytelling, the stories we want to tell. And we also have soft skills, human skills. Storytelling is empathy, communication, skills that can't be automated or replaced. And if you're here today, you are a creative thinker. And the world needs that more than ever now. If I were graduating today with something like Studio Ulster just around the corner, I'd feel like a kid in a candy shop. You have access to the kind of tech filmmakers only ever dreamed about for decades. But most importantly, you have your voice, your vision, your humanity. And that's what will cut through all the noise. If watching TV and films has shown me anything, it's time after time that tough times make superheroes. It's a time to rise to the challenge, be brave, be bold, to experiment, to lead, using all the tools at your disposal. So many world-class ones are now on your doorstep. You're graduating into a season of massive change, but also of immense, immense opportunity. Congratulations, and thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Livingstone, for that address, and I was particularly persuaded, especially as we have graduates going into that industry and what you see in the media around emerging technologies, that you're able to testify to the fact that it's still all about people, will be about people, skills transcend, and technologies are tools. I really like the bit about explore them, use them, and I thought from that, and then break them, and that's where people will carry on. I'm sure that's a great lesson to our graduates today. Thank you for your words. I now call upon Amy Lockery, a new graduate in the Faculty of Arts, Humanities and Social Sciences, to propose a vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, everybody. To our academic staff, family, friends, and of course, my fellow graduates. It's a real honour to stand here today, not just as a graduate, but as someone who has the privilege of speaking on behalf of an incredibly hard-working, resilient, and talented group of people. I'm proud to share this moment with you all as we celebrate everything we've achieved together. Today, however, isn't just about finishing a degree. It's about everything we've put into getting here. The hard work, the setbacks, the growth, and all the memories we've made along the way. When I was asked to speak here today, it gave me a chance to reflect on all of these experiences, and especially on where this university journey really began. For me, it started well before the first semester. I often think back to my first visit to Belfast in October 2021. It wasn't a dramatic or life-changing moment, but as I walked through the city, I felt a quiet sense that this could be the right place for me. There was something about the atmosphere, the pace of life, the feel on the streets, that just seemed to fit. Looking back, that visit was the real beginning of this chapter. Not long after, I discovered Ulster University, and when I read about the Communication Management and Public Relations course, everything clicked. It aligned perfectly with what I wanted to learn and the kind of person I hoped to become. While many of my friends chose to stay closer to home and study at universities in England, I took a leap. When I received my A-level results and opened the email offering me a place at Ulster, I felt a mix of nerves, excitement, and anticipation. I couldn't have known then just how much this place, this city, this university would shape me. For those of you who are familiar with Derry Girls, the best way I can describe arriving in Belfast is that I felt a little bit like James. In fact, I almost felt like I needed subtitles Freshers Week. I felt a little out of place, unsure if I really belonged, quietly wondering what I signed myself up for. But just like James, I was met with kindness, quick wit, and a generosity that is woven into the very fabric of this place. What started out feeling unfamiliar soon became somewhere I felt truly at home. Looking back now, I'm so glad I took that leap. Over the past few years, Ulster has been more than a place to study. It has been a place to grow, to be challenged, and to build community, not just for me, but for all of us. We arrived from different places, carrying diverse backgrounds, ambitions, and stories. Some of us came straight from school, others returned after time away. Some had clear goals in mind, others were still discovering theirs. But no matter the path, we shared a common drive, to learn, to push ourselves, and to embrace every opportunity. Ulster offered more than just an education. It gave us the space to question, collaborate, and create, whether in lecture halls, online discussions, or the dreaded group assignments. We were encouraged to think critically, communicate clearly, and connect deeply with the world around us. But it wasn't only the lessons we learnt in class that shaped us. It was the conversations in corridors, the steady support from our lecturers, the resilience forged through deadlines and uncertainty. It was the friendships built, the networks formed, and the memories created, often in moments we least expected. However, all of this wouldn't have been possible without the support of many people along the way. To our lecturers and academic staff, thank you for your guidance, encouragement, and your patience. You challenged and supported us to help us grow not just academically, but personally too. To the university staff behind the scenes, whether in the library, administrations, IT, or cleaners, thank you. Your work often goes unnoticed, but it's what keeps everything running. You've helped us to create an environment where we could learn, thrive, and connect. And to our families, friends, and loved ones, thank you for your constant support, your understanding during the stressful times, and believing in us even when we doubted ourselves. We couldn't have done this without you. So, as we mark the end of this chapter and look towards whatever comes next, I hope we take a moment to recognise just how far we've come and everything it took to get here. Nelson Mandela captured the power of what we've achieved here perfectly. He said, "Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world." As we move forward, let's carry that thought with us, because today we leave not just with degrees, but with the confidence shaped by hard work, resilience, and growth. We should be proud of what we've learned, who we've become, and the journey that brought us here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Amy, for those words. And although your address, I know, was meant for your fellow graduates, as a wee English fellow myself, I felt some resonance with what you said. I've just got another few thank yous to do before we wrap up. I do want to thank Daria de Brass, who throughout the entire week, indeed our 2 weeks of graduations, have been playing us in and playing us out. So thank you very much to them. And then a big one, really, because this is the final graduation that we have across the 2 weeks of graduations for summer here. And I often stand here and I'm shaking people's hands as they're going past, but I can also see the fantastic coordination that goes on in the room with people bringing them down. And it all works like absolute clockwork. And the clockwork precision that you see in the room is mirrored by clockwork precision behind the scenes, where there's an entire team of people who've worked tirelessly to bring you these graduation events to the standard that you're able to witness today. And I do need to pay thanks to them. We will give them a round of applause in the moment, but I do want to pull out a particular individual. You'll find out why. There's a gentleman in the Estates Department called Sean Hughes. Sean Hughes will retire later this year, and I think this may be his final graduation. And he's been supporting graduations for this university since 1999. So we'll roll that into our thanks for everybody who's supporting, and we'll thank Sean along with those thanks too. Thank you, colleagues. And of course, I can't do the formal closure of this ceremony until I invite everybody to raise the roof and give a final congratulations to the class of 2025. I declare this graduation ceremony closed and invite the new graduates to join the academic procession.